Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the international webinar on significance of 6S lean techniques implementation in world-class manufacturing industries, organized by ARSSS in association with iRaj Webinars. On the behalf of the organizing committee, I'm Isaac Behra, organizing secretary. Would like to welcome you all for this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the organization. The motto behind this non-profit association is the gap between students, professors, academics, and industrialists from multidiscipline. Apart from organizing various seminar, expert talks, and conferences, we have various highly rated multidisciplinary journals in the field of science, engineering, technology, and management. Since our inception, we have been arranged various international conferences at various parts of the world, like New York, London, Australia, Hong Kong, Dubai, Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, India, etc. More than 2 lakh people across the globe are associated with us and presented published during our journey. Today, I'm glad to welcome you all as a member of this fastest growing network for the advancement of science, technology in terms of research and innovation. Today, we are very much fortunate to have an eminent professor and expert who is joining this webinar as an expert speaker and guest. Her name is Professor Dr. Richa Sharma. Presently, she's working as an associate professor and area chair operations at Management ABS Noida. And I'd like to welcome our Professor Dr. Richa Sharma to deliver the webinar.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, sir, for a warm introduction. Well, it's my pleasure to connect with the Institute of Research and Journals in association with the ARSSS. I'm Dr. Richa Sharma, an academician and lean consultant, currently associated with the Asian Business School, Noida, as associate professor in the Operations Production Department. So today I will emphasize on a very simple, basic, fundamental lean tool known as 6S. It is a tool that aims to promote and sustain a high level of productivity and safety throughout a workplace. So the 6S lean tool, it helps to create a smart manufacturing system by improving workplace organization efficiency, and it creates a visual displays in the workplace which automatically which helps to generate a smart factory systems. So hence today the webinar topic is significance of 6S lean technique implementation in world-class manufacturing industries. So why this topic is selected, why this topic is being chosen? Because it is useful at all levels of the organizations, including senior management, middle management, frontline operators, academicians, and students who are involved and interested in lean implementation activities in industries, manufacturing sector, as well as even in the service sector, which includes colleges, hospitals, food restaurants, offices, canteens. So that's why, like, we have we have implemented this tool in various industries, covering various industries, like in automobile industries, like in Yamaha Motors, Hero Moto, Maruti Suzuki, Hyundai. Even like we have covered in this tool, we have implemented this tool in the textile industries, then in pharmaceutical industries like Cipla, then electrical, electronic industries, and even also covering the educational institutes. So even like various healthcare centers also we have implemented this tool. So I hope all of you will find this session interesting and informative. I have tried to design the presentation in pictorial manner, which includes lot of photographs, sketches, animations and pictures. So these are the subtopics which I will try to cover today. Just hold on. So my slides are visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. So like these are the subtopics which I will cover today. Like firstly, we will understand the term lean, what exactly is lean is. Then moving ahead, we will discuss that what exactly the 5S and the basic idea concept behind 5S, and like how one more S is being added and it gives 6S. So next very important is that is the 6S implementation process, which covers all the 6 steps, which I will try to explain in an elaborative manner. And each and every step is having its own key essential technique, which is aligned to it. So I'll try to cover all the techniques, and then we will get to know about the 5S advantages, benefits. Uh, we'll share selected list of industries who have gone full-fledged implementation, followed by the recognized certification programs on the lean techniques, which are offered by the top organizations. So firstly, we will just discuss that what exactly is lean is. So we need to understand that first of all, that what this term exactly mean, that is lean. So it is a systematic approach to identifying and eliminating the waste, non-value added activities in a company's operation. Now we need to understand first of all that what exactly the waste is. Waste is any unnecessary step in a manufacturing process that does not benefit to the customer, and therefore the customer does not want to pay for it. Or we can say that waste is any process that the customer does not want to pay for. So lean is defined as a set of management practices to improve efficiency and effectiveness by eliminating the waste. So the core principle of the lean is to reduce and eliminate non-value added activities and waste. So like if we talk in terms of Japanese language, the waste is known as muda. So muda means that is a waste, and it is the easiest way to describe the waste in terms of lean methodology, something that does not add value. So a core principle in the lean methodology is the removal of waste within an operation. So like we all understand that customer would not be happy to pay for any action taken that does not add value to what they actually want. So it is based on the philosophy of defining the value from the customer's viewpoint and continuously improving the way in which value is being delivered by eliminating the waste. Now you can see here that there are 8 waste, and lean thinking aims to remove all different 8 waste from the work processes. Like first is like waiting, then defects, then non-utilized talent, then inventory, then transportation, motion, extra processing, and overproduction. So these are all different 8 different waste which lean basically aims to remove all these 8 different types of waste. There is a thin line, bottom line difference between the overproduction and extra processing. So overproduction is where an output is produced more or sooner than required. And overprocessing is basically it is unnecessary additional work which is done, which adds no value to the output. So basically, there, uh, this like downtime is an acronym that we represents all these 8 different types of waste in continuous improvement, like defects, overproduction. D stands for defects. Then O stands for overproduction. W stands for waiting. Then N stands for non-utilized talent. Then T stands for transportation. I stands for inventory. N stands for motion, and E stands for excessive processing. So anything that does not increase value in the eye of the customer must be considered waste, and every effort should be made to eliminate that waste. Systematic elimination of these waste can result in faster processes, lower cost, higher productivity, higher quality, and happier workers, which is very, very important in order to keep the customers happy. So now we will understand that why we usually say that 5S is a starting point or foundation before going for other lean tools. There are other lean tools also like value stream mapping, which is known as VSM, then total productive maintenance, TPM, just in time, JIT, then total quality management, TQM, Six Sigma. So there are many various lean tools are being available, but why it is said that why 5S is a starting point? Why it is called as a starting, the fundamental tool? Because it is a great way to eliminate the waste. 5S creates a visual attractive environment in which the work environment is self-explaining, self-ordering, and self-improving. So these are the three main important key terms which we usually use, that why 5S is the fundamental tool, because it is self-explaining, self-ordering, and self-improving. So like, because if the workplace is full of clutter, then it is less productive. So working in a beautiful environment, it creates a positivity and good energy flows. So 5S techniques work from the assembly line to the offices, to the work zone area where we sit. So wherever the waste inefficiencies lie, Lean 5S is a wonderful tool and philosophy to create order and motivation in the workplace. So when we go for the implementation of any other lean tool after 5S, like for example, Six Sigma or visual visual stream mapping or just in time or TPM, then it will provide very conducive, healthy, and positive environment. Now, in this slide, you all can see there are two types of factory layouts. On my left-hand side, it is your shed type factory, and on my right-hand side, it is supermarket type factory. So on left-hand side, like you can see here, that is an image which you can see. It shows a typical shed which has no internal organization. Here you can see that the tools are being scattered everywhere, and there is no defined location for any individual item. Many and many hours are spent searching for any single item that is later you found broken. So when we work in a dirty workplace, we are exposed to lots of bacteria that represent a risk for our health. So it makes us feel very uncomfortable, and it lowers down our motivation, work standards, and finally it results into a low productivity. Now on my right hand side, you can see it's a supermarket image. So this supermarket is internally, it is organized. The shelves are clearly marked, and you can immediately find out the item, what you are looking for it. So nothing is lost and no time is wasted. The whole environment is very pleasant and very clean. So waste and abnormalities are immediately recognized by anyone. So anyone can retrieve the information or equipment quickly. So once the supermarket vision has become reality in your workplaces, in industries, in manufacturing, especially in the engineering-based industries, then your workplace will become more pleasant and healthy environment with zero defects, zero abnormalities, and this vision is achieved by 5S or 6S implementation. So now, like here, two questions basically arises, that why it is called 6S, or what is 6S, and why we have added one more S in 5S. So because when we add one more S, that is a sixth S, it is called a 6S. And now 6S means that we have added additional parameter, that is safety. So it is also referred as 5S plus safety. So the goal of the 6S is to make safety a core component of all lean manufacturing processes. And 6S lean not only helps organizations to promote efficient working environments, but it also establish a sustainable culture of safety. Second is that why we have added, what is the need, what is the purpose in order to add one more S, that is safety. Because we know that the safety is the topmost priority in every workplace. And some believe that safety is already integral to the classic 5S methodology. So why then it is being incorporated as a separate step? Because adding a safety, it helps provide a further focus on safety issues, especially for industries that involve high risk jobs such as construction and food manufacturing industries. So the extra attentions given can help ensure that no dangerous or risky items or conditions they are being overlooked after going through the 5 stages of the 6S lean. So, like in a nutshell, the 6S is a method of creating a clean and ordered workplace that exposes waste and makes abnormalities immediately visible. Why? Because it is a basic and a very powerful tool in the lean enterprise, which we have already discussed in the previous slides. Success has a wide impact on 6 parameters, that is on productivity. It improves productivity, it improves quality, it improves, like it lowers down the cost, it saves the cost as by implementing or this lean tool 6S, it raises product quality and it improves the work productivity, which results in lowering cost and higher efficiencies. Then it improves delay because there will be a fewer delays, a shorter delays due to better workspace organization and easier location of required tools or documents. And yes, of course, 6S improves safety, which creates a very healthy environment, the company, because a more organized, cleaner workplace is going to have a fewer hazards. So like finally, the last parameter is your morale, because pleasant and organized workplace, it leads to improve employee attitudes, because every employee will have the responsibilities and the duties which are aimed at a common goal. So to maintain the 5S standards, which leads to a sense of teamwork and a shared vision. So now we will understand that what exactly, like we will understand the 6S in a more formal and structured manner, that what are the different 6 steps which are being required for the full-fledged implementation. So the 6S method is basically, it is originated in Japan in 20th century as the part of the Toyota production system. It is a this tool is very practical, very real, and hands-on experience tool. The 6S quality tool is being derived from the 6 Japanese terms, which begins with the letter capital S. And the 6th S is added, which is called safety. So the equivalent terms in English also begins with N capital S. So in fact, it was adopted to such a widespread extent that it helped to share the entire concept of the lean manufacturing. And the 6 terms, they represent the six basically steps, which like basically, like you can say that these are the operational steps actually, which you are required, which every industry, which every organization, they are required to follow in a systematic and in a sequential manner. So the first is in Japanese term, it is known as Siri. And in English, it's Siri means that what exactly it means, that is simple sorting. The second is in Japanese term, it is known as Seton, which means that set in order, or you can say set locations and limits. The third is in Japanese, it is known as Sisho, and it means shine and sweep. The fourth is known as Sikutsu, which means standardize. And the fifth is known as Shitsuke, which means sustenance. The last six is in Japanese term, it is known as enzi, which means safety. So when all these six steps, they are properly implemented, it creates and maintains an organized, safe, clean, and efficient workplace. So in simple terms, like I will try to explain all these in a very elaborated, detailed manner. But in short, like in simple, the first S means sorting, where you remove all the unnecessary items from your workstation. The second is that is set in order, which deals with locating everything in an appropriate place. Then shine and sweep, it describes the daily activity of cleaning and keeping a work area as neat as possible. And the fourth, which means standardize, that which helps to create standards that support a complete process. The fifth, that is your sustenance, which describes to sustain the improvements and making further improvements. And finally, finally, last is the safety, which controls to create the stress-free and healthy atmosphere where workers can feel safe and secure. So now we will understand the 6S implementation plan step by step in elaborative manner, which is being divided into 3 phases. Like now the first phase, that is, it contains 4 criteria. So before launching or before introducing this concept in your workplace, so the first thumb rule is that is we have to complete the important preparation stages. And the first step is that is first in order to create a blame-free environment. So what exactly is blame-free environment? It is like which allows everyone in the organization to use their talent skills effectively. Because when troubles or mistakes occur, the individual, they should not be blamed instead of finding the root cause of problems. So blame-free environment, it encourages participation, and hence by creating this environment, all individuals, they have the courage to try out new things and take initiative by own and ready to tackle tasks ahead of you. So the first thumb rule, that is to create a blame-free environment. Then second, that is first, like there are 4 criteria. Once the blame-free environment is being created, then we can start with that is the establish a 5S policy. Like most of the companies nowadays, they have a mission statement, like what is your company's mission statement. So like design a 4 to 5 simple statement of your 5S or 6S policy and display it in all zones of your plant organization so that it is more visible to all the employees. Then second is that is to establish your company's objectives. So that is try not to make the same mistake as some other companies they make, because objectives basically means that is the tangible objectives. Tangible, that is which are measurable objectives. For example, 50% reduction in the lead time, or you can say that 75% improvement in the changeovers, or you can say 50% increase in number of suggestions. So these are the tangible measurements which are being counted in your company's objectives. Then next is that is to establish a steering group. So 5S steering committee, it creates a big difference, because like the steering committee is essentially, it is the governing body of all the 5S related activities in your organization, which will take the responsibility of the overall planning, implementation, and then sustaining the process. So the members The members of the 5S steering committee, they should be composed of representatives from all the different departments or from all the organization levels, and especially from the most areas of the operation and the shop floor. So initially, the goal of the 5S steering committee is to formulate a master implementation, you can say master implementation or action plan to ensure a successful introduction of 5S to the members of the organization. Then next is that is the success awareness training. So at this stage, there should be a group mass training, which is being required in clusters for the senior management, middle management, and covering the bottom line workers. So all the employees, they should undergo with the success training. And it is very, very important. Why? Because that are made to feel them so that their participation is very, very important during this success awareness training. So when we start with the next, that is phase 2, then again it contains the 3 parameters. That is firstly to develop a workplace organization map, where we used to identify the area owners and we select the success area starting points. Now here we need to, what exactly we need to do? We need to develop the map layout of the workplace and decide upon that who is going to own which area. So finally, we must decide at which significant area we are going to choose to start the success implementation. So it should be done in consultation with the members of the steering group workforce, and the areas where the scope of improvement is very, very high, or where where you find that this area is more crucial or it is a high risk zone area. Pick those area. We can choose that area, and that specific location as a starting point too. So then next is that is to develop a 6S implementation plan or roadmap. So let me show you the next slide. So here you can see that this is a roadmap. This is a simple template which has been shown for a roadmap, in which we need to write down the activities in the order that are required to be executed. And then on the schedule section, we add the duration time when we are expecting to start and end that activity. So hence in this way, it is easy to see that when and each activity is due to start, and where there is a problem if they overlap. Then next is that is the 6S area honors training. That is, training should be given to all the 6S honors who have been assigned responsibility to own their specific areas. So like if we talk about next here, the next 3 phase, again, the third phase is, again, there are 3 criteria which are being included. So first is that is to develop a zone specific 6S improvement plan. So what exactly it means? So like if I show you, that is a zone specific improvement plan, here we need to focus locally like in each territory and zone. Like here, if you see here, like this is a perfect image. Here you can see like each zone leader along with its members, they take the responsibility. So here the before pictures, we can also take the before pictures and record on the individual mapping that where each picture was taken from. Then do the fixed point photography. So what exactly is a fixed point photography? It means that like before implementing the first step, that is known as sorting, it is necessary to take a few pictures, few photographs of the place from a fixed place with a fixed height and fixed angle and fixed zoom even. And it is taken every time we make any improvement of the place. Why? Because it is a highly visual tool. This fixed point photography is a highly visual tool that shows immediately what improvements has been achieved and what was wrong with the original situation and what changes have taken place since. So the notice board or storyboard is used as a focal point for the improvement of the activities which with specific zone team members. Next, like to develop the storyboards, like here you can see here that is there are 4 different types, 4 different types of storyboards. And these are the display boards in the work zone area, which are being they are being located, they are being shown during the implementation of the 6S activities. So it can be used in meetings to promote a sense of teamwork and discussions, because it clarifies the current situation. So these board will act like a visual guide as to keep an eye, that is how the improvements in the workplace, they are progressing. It should contain like various information, such as, for example, what is the team name or the name of the team members, along with their photos and the leader of their team, then the company's overall policy, then ongoing results from the team activities, then the current situations. So all these are the information which you can easily display on these different storyboards. Now, we are ready to start. We'll go with the step by step, as there are 6 steps. So the first step is your Siri, which is known as sorting. And the objective of this first step is to get rid of unwanted items and decide what is needed and to be kept, and what is not needed and to be discarded. So the goal of the sorting step is to eliminate the clutter and clear up the space by removing the things that don't belong in their area. So it is not easy to tell what things are useful and what are outdated and unnecessary, because some questions usually while doing this first step, that is the sorting, there are few questions which we have in our mind, that what is the purpose of this item, when was this item is being last used, like for so many years it has been kept, but we are not using this item frequently or on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis, but still it has been kept, and how frequently like we are using it, and who uses it, and does it really needs to be here. So these are the questions which help us to determine that the value, the monetary value of each item. Keep in mind that is the best people, like in order to assess those items in a space, are the people who are actually working in that space. So they are the ones who can answer like all these questions. Now, if we like here, you can see that is the target areas and the checklist, where scope of improvement of doing the sorting is very high. Like for example, in your fixtures and machine dispose, like we can dispose all the unneeded items. Then in file cabinets and books and documentation. So like these are the basically target areas and the checkpoints where you can find where there is lot of improvement is being required. So the key technique which we used in the first S is red tagging. Now, as soon as an unneeded item is being identified or it is marked with red tag, and that item is then stored in a red tag holding area, or we can say that it as a red tag center. So red tags are usually, these are the cardboards, or you can say these are the stickers that can be attached to the items. So now, like here, you can see these are the red tags. Like these are like cardboard tags or stickers. So what exactly is red tagging is? It is a dynamic and it is a visual way of finding out, determining between needed and the unneeded items. So if you find an item that you can't identify or not required, or that has uncertain ownership, it's time to use a red tag. So red tag is a highly visible tag that is attached to the items, which notes that where it was found and when. So then red tag items from all the work areas, they are collected in a single location, that is lost and found for tools, materials and equipments. So you can see here that what is written, what parameter, what basic text is being written on the red tag, that what is the name of the item, then how much quantity has been found, then in which area that item was found, and on which date. So like then that specific items falls under which category. So like raw materials, stationery, machine part, or any consumable part. Now, like here, you can see here all how all discarded items are red tagged and they are kept in red tag holding area, also known as red tag centers. So basically, the procedure is firstly that is to identify the items which are unnecessary, not required. Then fill out the red tags. The second step is to fill out the red tag. Then next is to attach these red tags to the items for the evaluation and then move items to the red tag area. So like now these are some formats which we used during applying this technique of red tagging. This is a red tag record sheet. It is a way of monitoring those items that have been tagged actually. So in this way, the red tag record sheet is maintained for all the items which are kept in a red tag centers. Now, like here again, like here, like along with the red tag record sheet, we can also maintain the red tag tracker. So red tag record sheet and red tag tracker, they both are same. Again, here you can see the two pictures, like that is the red tags which are attached to the unneeded tools, equipments, wire harnesses, then blower motors, ACs even. So these tags, they are used to identify unnecessary items that need to be either thrown out or recycled or sold out or relocated even. So the why we are using the bright color red tags, the bright red tags of red color, they basically they catch the employees' attention actually. And it helps them see how much clutter exists in their workplaces. So like you can see here, there are many cluttered items, unneeded items in which the red tags have been attached. Similarly, here you can see again pictures in which unneeded scrap, office supplies, and the shop floor items like defective pieces of computers, tools, jigs, documents, files, books are attached with the red tags and they all are kept in a red tag holding area. Again, all scrap, defective items, unwanted cleaning items like vacuum cleaner, you can see here, they all are being placed. They are all the red tags, they are being properly labeled and they are placed in a red tag holding area. Now, once all the unneeded items, they are being tagged properly, then hold a red tag auction. So like we all know that what is auction, like when items are sold to the person who offers to pay the most money. So actually we have to decide an appropriate amount of items, appropriate amount of time to keep the items in the red tag holding area. So like typically a month is being required, or it is ideally the 1 month is sufficient for it, because once an item placed in a red tag holding area for a month, then it's ideal time to conduct the red tag auction. Next step, that is moving ahead, that is the once the sorting is being done, the red tagging technique is full-fledged, is being implemented, red tag auction is being done, then like ideally then the second step, as we need to go in a systematic sequential order, we can't go with the fourth step after first, so we need to maintain that sequence. So the second step is CTON, which basically means that is set in order. So like set in order means what exactly means that once you have eliminated all the unneeded items, turn to the leftover items, like set everything in proper place for quick retrieval and storage. So you can see here that these are the three main objectives which comes under the second step. So the stage of success allows you to find places for everything in your workplace by giving addresses to every item. So this step consists of putting everything in an assigned place so that it can be assessed or retrieved quickly, as well as returned in that same place quickly. So if everyone has a quick access to an item or material, workflow becomes efficient and the worker become productive. So every single item must be allocated its own place for safekeeping, and each location must be labeled for easy identification of what it's for. So these are the key technique which we used in the second S is signboarding. In first S, we are using the red tagging, and in the second step, we use the key technique which is known as the signboarding. So the signboarding strategy is a tool basically that makes the whole organizing process more visible. So it is a method for clearly indicating that how many items in terms of quantity and what, that is the name of the item, and where, that is location, necessary items go as we make the factory more orderly manner. So the signboard techniques, it basically involves the 3 steps. That is, first is to determine the location. That is, we need to decide that where to place the item that remains after the red tagging. Then the second is to prepare the location. It means that organizing the shelves and cabinets in the specified places and decide how many of each item will be stored in a given location. And the third is to indicate location, which basically means that is to design or to create and hang the signboards labeling that clearly indicate that where each and every item belongs. So all these 3 steps are being involved in the signboarding technique. Now I'll show you all the real pictures, images that basically represents creativity, imagination, how beautifully all the signboarding is done. So like you can, while just sharing all these slides, you can see that all these pictures, they are self-explanatory, and they have been like, we have taken it from the various industries, from the tool room, shop area, from the maintenance room, from the offices. So like here you can see the first, that is the 2 images you can see here, that is before and after. So it basically what exactly it represents, it is an open storage system in the maintenance tool room area. So like here you can differentiate, you can see a very clear visibility is there. Like if all the tools, they are being stored inside the boxes, or you can say lockers or drawers, then they cannot be seen and they are likely to be in a mess. So this is where the open storage systems such as tools, they are being stored on a standing vertical boards. So all the tools and jigs in the workplace, they need to be stored properly in such a manner that makes them easy to return to the correct place. Here you can see a clear vertical standing board also, which is known as shadow boards or you can see the other phenomenon which we use is tool boards, in which all the different tools like pliers, spanners of different grade specification, then portable drill machines, hacksaw, tool beds, they are fixed in a thermocol plastic form sheet, which is cut according to the shape and sizes of the each item. Another example of the tool board or the shadow board is that is with proper names are being mentioned for each and every tool. And we can say hanging tools on a rack. It should be clearly outlined and labeled, each hanger for its own tool. Now, like here, you can see here that is all different measuring instruments like vernier caliper, micrometer, screw gauges, spanners, paintbrush. They are hanged systematically and they are being labeling is done clearly. So again, you can see here the comparison of before and after pictures. So tools are arranged in a very systematic, orderly manner. Now, here we can also see a systematic storage of all tools, accessories, and along with accessory stationary items even. So thermocol plastic form sheet is cut according to the shape and size of each item, and it is placed in a drawer. So the goal of the second step, that is set in order, is that everything should be stored in a systematic manner. Now here you can see like here this simple all cleaning items and accessories, they are being segregated and they are placed in a systematic order and they are well labeled also. Now in this slide you all can see three different images, and the images they represents the how the files they are being placed in a systematic order. Like all the files they like in the first image you can see all the box files, they are placed in a sequential order and ribbon tagging is done. So if any one or two files are removed, the pattern gets disturbed, which reflects it's is missing or being currently under use. In the second, you can see like the ribbon tagging and visible markings are used. Numbering is done in a creative manner. So fluorescent color charts are used for higher visibility. Same which I explained earlier, like if one file is removed, the pattern gets disturbed, it gets distorted. Also, we can add or paste the name or slip of the person who is currently using the files. So usually this is very interesting. That is a 30-second rule. So it is a lean 5S, lean 6S exercise that measures that how long it takes to find a tool or document, etc. So the 30-second rule, it helps to ensure that the tools are easily accessible, or it improves the efficiency of a space, and it makes a space clean, safe, and well optimized. So here, like we, when we usually go as a 5S auditor in various industries to visit for the monitoring, so we ask the various employees and the staff to find the specific tools within the 30 seconds. Again, here you can see a signboarding technique, which is done on a switchboard. For CPU and monitor, different sockets are used and it is being properly labeled. Like for example, for socket code, alphabet S is used. And again, there is no standard or benchmark coding. Again, it depends upon your comfortability. Now here you can see the comparison of two pictures of placement of files before and after, again signboarding. So in this image, you can see like they are using a storage cabinet, which is a dust-free cabinet, and these storage areas should still be visible from the area of your workstation. Glass shutters, transparent glass shutters, they are being used, and the files are placed well mannered with proper tags and labeling. So this is a view of an open offices and files, how they are being placed properly in an open cabinets. So this image, it belongs to, like we have taken it from a textile industry, and we have Vardhaman Textiles, and this image belongs to the human resource HR office. So here they have used the transparent plastic or acrylic pockets and different forms, like in which different forms, for example, OD forms, leave or attendance forms, they are being placed properly. Now, after the implementation of two steps, that is, first is sorting and the second is set in order. 1S, and once the 1S and 2S is over, we can see that there is a reduction in file searching time. And after removal of all unnecessary, unwanted, or the duplicate items, the storage space has been increased and it creates a neat and organized workplace. So in the second step, like the locations of all files, documents, and records, they are being defined along with the signboarding. So these are the various benefits which we can feel, like increase of productivity by decreasing the time spent and retrieving a tool. Then cost saving, because lost tools, they do not need to be reordered, or we can say reduced injuries because tools are stored in a convenient and ergonomic places. So like ideally after 1S and 2S, audits takes place by the zone owner, or by they can call any one member from the steering committee to sustain the improvements. Moving ahead, that is the third S, that is the third step, which is known as CISO, and it exactly mean as that is shine and sweet. So what exactly basically it is? So cleaning and maintaining the workplace, and checking up for some malfunctions. So like basically what exactly? So these are the two objectives of the third step. So 3S will not only thoroughly clean the workplace, but it also act as a continuous checking process and it helps to identify the abnormalities. A regular cleaning process is used as a visual inspection of the equipment of the shop facility. So this means that cleaning and maintaining the newly organized workplace, clean and inspect everything, including machinery, workstation, storage cabinets, open floor space area. So like it can involve routine tasks such as mopping, dusting, etc., or performance maintenance, performing the maintenance on the machinery, tools, and other equipments. And the key technique which we used in the third step is known as cleaning schedule. So, like this is a simple template. This template is being shared by, usually we follow this template in various industries, a cleaning schedule template. So like here you can see like it's being divided into various columns. Like first column you can see here, that is the who, that is the name of the person who is responsible for the activity. Then the second is that is which target area or item needs to be improved. Then third is how, that is which practice or method is being used. Then next is standard, that will remain same as common objective, clean time. And finally, the last column you can see here, that is the schedule. Like it could be either on your daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. So well implemented shine and sweep programs, they have a long-term benefits when it comes to employee morale. So not only all the workplaces are clean and more efficient, but caring for the equipment also on a daily basis, it increases employee satisfaction with their contribution to the company. Now, this is very important thing that which we need to understand. Usually we called it as a third step as a cleaning. No, exactly. It doesn't mean that we are just we are creating the workplace as a dust-free environment. That is not the main objective of the third step. The cleaning is basically, it is a form of inspection checking because it leads to the discovery of abnormalities. Cleaning does not mean to clear the dust on the main part of the machine. Please. So, but you like we also make it, we need to make it ensure that how the mechanism is working on the machine. We need to check for the proper amount of oil, lubricants, levels, air, ventilation, loose nuts and bolts, hidden and broken gauges. So while doing the cleaning, we need to closely look at how the machine works and watch for slight defects. We need to listen closely for the changes in the sounds that the machine makes. We have to touch the machine even, the equipment even, if it is safe during the operation and during downtime to detect the deviation from the normal condition. So hence, it makes a regular cleaning process that can be used as a visual inspection of the equipment. Then next fourth stage is your Shikitsu, which means standardize. So what exactly means that standardize? This is like it allows you to standardize all the operations in your workplace, having chosen the best practices to perform the operations, and allows anyone coming in from outside to be able to perform those operations in exactly the same way as you are doing them now. So standardizing leads to create visual controls, and it is a like creates a visual controls and make your workplace a visual managed area. So here, like in this simple image, this signifies that success strategy is basically, it is broadly divided into two steps. In the first step, the sorting, then setting and shining takes place. And in the second step, the first three steps, they are consolidated by establishing the fourth step, that is standardize, and the fifth step, that is sustenance, and the sixth step, that is safety. So standardize should really should be really effortless, because if you have properly executed the first three steps in the success process, so it will be very much beneficial. So like the key technique which we used in the fourth step is visual management. So the visual management is a powerful approach to establish the standards. By making the standards visible, you make conformance far more likely and efficient. So it helps everyone knows that what to do and how to carry it out with minimal opportunity for the mistakes. So let's take a look at some good examples of the visual management tools. Like first you can see here that is the safety cross tool, then signboard strategy, then white line markings, red line markings, end on. Again, this is a Japanese word end on, which we called it as a alarm lamps. Then production management boards, then SOPs, which means standard operating procedure sheets, and last is defective item displays. So first, like what exactly is a safety cross tool is? It is a visual tool that tracks when and how often accidents happen. So like as safety is always a topmost priority, so many organizations, they use this tool. So days that are accident free they are being given a green color, they are shaded with green, while days shaded in red are days when an accident occurs. So the cross shape is not mandatory, but is used frequently as a cross symbolize the safety. So other color codes, they can also be used like blue for some renovations, modifications, or for improvement work. Now here you can see like images, how the signboarding, there are very many pictures are being there in which how the signboarding is being followed. So in the signboarding strategy, we set up signs, what belongs where and in what amount, so that anyone will be able to understand that where things belong. So we have already discussed that signboard strategy is a tool that makes the whole organizing process more visible. Then next is color. Is, is the most effective means of communication. So by using the floor markings to designate pathways, to define pathways and the storage locations. So you can see in the slides like how the different color codes are being used. So they can be used to identify work areas, machines, workstations, entire production areas, and temporary work areas even. So next is end on. End on basically means that is which immediately alert the factory supervisors to abnormalities that occur in the factories. So end on, again, I've told you that it is a Japanese word. It's a Japanese term which means light, or we can say a lamp. So in lean manufacturing, an end on refers to a tool that is used to inform and alarm workers of problems within their production process. So it is a visual method to quickly identify the issues, which allows for quick and swift action and resolution. These are the display boards, another visual tool that indicates the current conditions on the production lines. So data which is being shown on these boards include production results, operating conditions, causes for the line stops, team members. So all these information which we can display on the display boards, production management boards. This is the most important visual tool, which is known as standard operating procedure sheets. So these are the sheets which should be put up at each workstation, and operators, they should be encouraged to come up with the new ways to update the procedure sheets. Now here you can see many visual display symbols. So these are the labels and the signs, color codings and other markings which are used in place of written instructions. So visual management, which is a key technique which we used in the 4th step, is used to share the information and the work standards. And the purpose of this visual management is to quickly and accurately communicate the standards and to be able to show quickly if any abnormal condition exists. So all these are the different types of visual control indicators which leads to standardizing. Now the next 5th stage is Shitsuke, which means that sustenance. So objective is that to sustain the improvements and make further improvements by encouraging effective use of key techniques. So Shitsuke means commitment. Actually, it means commitment, or we can say sustained discipline. So basically, it focuses on taking all of the previous steps of 5S, including the standardized procedure and transforming them into ongoing habits to follow the discipline. It means sustaining a productive work environment. So the responsibility for the Shitsuke is to shared between the management and the workforce. So the key techniques which we used in the fifth is, like, for example, continuous 5S promotional activities, auditing, reward and recognition programs, training programs. So like these are many ways. Like the first is 5S promotional activities. So there are many ways to promote the 5S activities in a workplace. We can organize seminars, workshops for our workforce, and organize outings to visit other people's site also, for them to visit yours to check on each other's progress. So the first is your 5S promotional activities. Second is auditing. We can use these audit sheets to monitor your progress and sustain your improvements. So in audit sheet, you can see like all the activities which are being mentioned in a description column, and the check items, they are being categorized specifically step-wise. Then next is, that is the third technique, is your reward and recognition program. So there are various reward and recognition schemes which we can encourage to promote the 6S activities, and it will boost the confidence of the workforce. Like for example, the Department of the Month Award, 5S Area of the Month Award, Improvement of the Month Award, Improvement Suggestion of the Month Award, Perfect Attendance Award, Supervisor of the Month Award, and Employees of the Month Award. The fourth key technique which we used in the fifth are the training programs. So one of the most important ways that you are going to keep your workforce motivated and enthusiastic is by promoting continuous training and education programs. So it should be monitored carefully to ensure that every employee is up to date with their trainings and they are being well informed. So it does not mean that you have finished your work. It is important to keep the cycle working. It should keep on going, because like if ever you should stand back and forget to keep vigilant, it should be so easy for your workplace to slowly return to its original condition. Last S is enzyme, which is known as safety. So 6S lean, that is the last S, safety, is the final step which is added to the standard 5S methodology. So this is the most essential step of the 6S, which focus on identifying the risk, dangerous zone areas, and setting preventive controls to keep workers safe during the work operations, and ensures that the work environment meets the required safety standards. So basically, it aims to promote and sustain a high level of productivity and safety throughout a workspace. So to safeguard the workers' well-being, this entails putting safety precautions and personal protective equipments, that is, which is known as PPE, that is personal protective equipments. So this should be, all these PPE equipment should be kept into a places. So this can entail putting safety guards on machinery, offers suitable personal protective equipments, including hard helmets, gloves, and safety glasses, and doing routine work safety analysis to find and eliminate the possible risk. So like in this slide, we are just going to mention that what are the overall benefits? What are the overall benefits after implementation of the 6S, which will help us to maintain good product quality, improve efficiency and productivity, maintain good control over the processes, ensure safety and cleanliness, better employee satisfaction at the workplace, and a safer work environment at the workplace. So when you opt for the 6S thinking or the 5S thinking, you make a commitment. Actually, you make a commitment to put organization effectiveness and safety ahead of production deadlines. So the end result is always an increase in overall success. And yes, it's very much true that improved maintenance, improved safety, and high morale employee commitment, they are the benefits of the implementing 6S. So, 6S helps in creating a safe workplace by reducing the accidents caused by various reasons. It could be various miscellaneous reasons, like it could be slippery floors, or it could be eliminating oil leaks, or it could be creating a visual indicators, anything. So, clean workplace environment, especially in a manufacturing unit, it can result in a significant reduction in the number of injuries which are being sustained by the workers. So, like, I'll just share few industries name that many top original equipment manufacturing or many multinational companies, they have actually implemented this tool, Lean Tool 6S, like Maruti Suzuki, Hyundai, Tata Motors, Ford, Hero MotoCorp, HP. Then this EPSIS, which means Adani Port and Logistics, and it is the first port in India to implement the 6S workplace management system. Like it is the first, it is the largest commercial ports operator in India, accounting for nearly 1/4 of the cargo movement in the country. And this Adani Port and Logistics, they have been awarded a certificate for the implementation of the 6S workplace management system by the NPC, that is National Productivity Council. So, like, not only in the manufacturing industries or in the engineering industries or in the in the production where it is in the shop floors or assembly lines, it is not true actually. So, 6S methodology is a very versatile tool. It is being used in the various other sectors also, like in hospitals, in healthcare centers, in medical practices, in education sectors, in colleges, in schools, in offices, in canteens, even in the computer industry, like in HP, they are using the 6S tool because having the computer parts sorted, properly labeled, and stored in easily accessible areas, it makes manufacturing faster and easier. So even this tool, 6S Lean tool, is a perfect fit for the retail industry also, for the retail sector, because since it promotes sorting and organization, so two elements that benefits both retail workers and prospective customers. So hence that's why the 6S Lean tool is a versatile tool which can be used in many zones, in many sectors, both in the, that is in the manufacturing as well as in the service sectors. So like you can see here uh, pictures, images which are being related to the healthcare centers, like systematic arrangement and the proper labeling of the medicines by maintaining an organized and clean environment. The risk of errors has been minimized, and clear labeling and designated storage areas ensures that medical supplies and equipments, they are easily accessible whenever they are being required, and which promotes the patient safety. And you will be surprised and glad that the best example of implementation recently in the last 3 years, it is in the Vanaras railway station. They have also implemented the 6S Lean tools. They have received this 5S certificate from the international organization, that is Quality Circle of India, that is which is QCFI, 3 years ago only, and they are maintaining that level. So, like, they have been awarded the 5S certificate to the railway division manager. Even in the IGI airports, Delhi International Airports, Delhi, they have also been awarded. They are also in the implementation process. Even in the last 4 years, they have still implemented the fourth step, that is still standardized. They have done. They have already been audited and they have been given a green signal in order to go with the last fifth step and even the sixth step. So like this is all like it is being widely spread in many sectors. This is a very powerful lean tool. But yes, we need to understand that sometimes the people say that lean is only for manufacturing. No, is it like seriously? It is wrong. Lean is not only meant for manufacturing. They are being applied, like I've said, I've shown you the real example. I've shown you the various real pictures that it is being applied to all different sectors, all different industries, even in finance, services, healthcare, IT. Then like lean uh, is not only meant for managers. It involves the all employees. It requires the bulk and mass participation of all the employees in the organization, encouraging participation at all the levels. So it is an ongoing journey. It is a continuous journey of continuous improvement, not a one-time initiative. Like it doesn't mean that if we have been given a certificate or if we have been awarded a lean success tool by QCFI or by any recognized organization, so our journey stops. No, it is actually a discipline. It is actually creating a culture of continuous improvement. It is actually an ongoing journey. So these are the various organizations who are recognized for providing the lean certifications, like Quality Circle Forum of India, which is known as QCFI, then Confederation of Indian Industries, that is CII, then National Productivity Council, which is simply that is NPC, Kaizen Institute, then TNV Certification Private Limited, British Standard Institution, that is BSI. So they are all the world's, like they are the world's first standard body and founding member of ISO since 1901, I guess. I'm not sure about that, but they are very old players. So BSI has been helping organization across the globe improve and capture the best practices. So the professionals from all the areas who are interested in learning and implementing the success practices as a basis for promoting an organized and efficient work environment, you all can search for American Society for Quality also. Again, one name which I have missed, that is ASQ, which is known as American Society for Quality. And then second organization is your International Association for Six Sigma certifications. So all these are the various organizations which are authorized, or you can say which are properly accredited, which are recognized for providing the lean certifications. So finally, final conclusion is that these are the important 5 golden tips. You can say the golden tips for the effective implementation of the 6S in the workplace. First, like each and every member, they should understand the objective of the 6S implementation, because many companies, they implement 6S just as a requirement. And this is a true part. This is a truth, actually. This is a real hard fact, because they just implement, their main objective is, that is in order to achieve a status symbol, or you can say or the second is, that is if they are being insisted by their top management or the customers. So in both the cases, the objective of the 6S implementation is defeated, because as every member of the company is not aware of the fundamentals, methodology, and the objective as well. So in such cases, the 6S implementation is done in a superficial manner, which really doesn't help the companies to achieve the real desired results in operational excellence. So it is very, very important. It is very crucial to communicate the objective and the roadmap of the 6S implementation to each and every member of the company. This communication can be done either through frequent repetitive manner of training and effective visual management on the floor. So the first is that is each and every employee should understand that what are the main goals, why our organization they have decided for the success tool. Really, it is not meant for the status symbols or in order to achieve any award. This actually improves the workplace environment, the culture, the workplace environment, really. Second step is that is it is considered as a way of professional life rather than just a technique. Because considering the success implementation as a theory of profession rather than just an additional project that the top management has forced on them. So the change in the mindset of every member is necessary to ensure success implementation with real spirit and with ultimate effectiveness. So the change in mindset is possible by means of displaying the uh, simple and effective success posters, appealing posters, and instructions at the facility to promote the importance of the success strategy. Because all the employees they must have understand that success is a lot more than just cleaning. No, implementing success in an office's environment, they have plenty of more benefits than just a clean workplace. Because it improves the work culture and work environment, right? So the third step is that is detailed knowledge of each S in success implementation. Many members, really, which we have already seen in many industries, in many healthcare centers, in many service sectors, in many educational institutes, that many members they do not understand the real desired meaning of an individual S in this technique. Because in most of the cases, it has been observed that each S is considered as simple a method of good housekeeping rather than understanding the science and theory behind it, right? Because all the process owners and manager, they must make an effort to make their workers understand the importance, objectives, and benefits of the success implementation at their workplace, as it will not only make the work activities more productive, but it also be beneficial for the workers to work in a user-friendly and enhanced work environment. Next is that is to choose the success tool and implementation methods in a selective manner. Because one should be very much careful while designing the implementation roadmap for any organization, for their own organization. Like suppose like if they're designing the roadmap for their own organization, so one has to understand that the roadmap and the details of the implementation activities, they can't be exactly the same as the roadmap which was developed for any other organization. Because every organization, they has a different success implementation plan depending upon various factors, such as based on the nature of organizational operations, educational level of the team members, then existing culture at the company. So, like these are all the implementation strategies which changes according to the process of the company, according to the scenario of the company. It is not necessary that success implementation is only, again, not is not like it is only applicable to the manufacturing units, warehouses, commercial offices, even oil refineries. In fact, they have also proved that success is a very useful application tool. So, like when beginning a success implementation in your organization, choose a reliable, engaged, and committed team. Commitment is very much required. And select an easy work area so that you are able to guarantee the success. Because this will smooth the way for more difficult areas. Then next, to create a effective visual management. So the success technique is considered as a, like we have seen, like so many slides, so many images which I have shared, that like you can see that it is a cultural change basically, rather than just a project with a timeline. So it requires a change in mindset at all the levels of the organization. So the 30-second test, which I have discussed with you, the 30-second test is an easy way to make sure that you have done a good job. You should find an item, tool, document, or information, or any person in less than 30 seconds. So many companies, many industries, they have experienced extraordinary results after displaying this correct and appropriate displays at their in their premises. So, like, finally, I will conclude that success tool is not only meant for production lines for the shop floor, right? Retail shop, medical store, corporate offices, hospitals, common office settings, educational institutes. So it's a very powerful, versatile tool. And yes, like implementing the 6S system is important in the workplace because it can result in more efficient ways of getting the job done. So I'll conclude last with my last bottom, a deep exact main is line, that is 6S lean tool is a versatile tool which is very much beneficial in any type of operation regardless of their size and industry. So thank you so much. I hope you have find this presentation or the topic interesting and informative. So I would like to have your feedback. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable time and joining this webinar. On the behalf of Organizing Committee AISSS and iRUG Webinars, I would like to thank all our sponsors and coordinators. I would also like to thank our president. We will be happy to hear your comments and compliments or suggestion at our Facebook and Twitter page. This video will be available shortly in our YouTube channel. Kindly subscribe our official YouTube channel, iRUG Conferences and Seminars, for all past and upcoming webinars and expert lectures. And also we have thank you for joining this webinar, and we'll share a token of appreciation or certificate to you, ma'am. Kindly accept it. Thank you all, and see you another webinar soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.